Okay, so yeah, the alarm I set for the length of time I was going to talk went off and stopped the video, and I was almost done. So I'm going to post this right after this one because I'm not the best video editor. So I'll just post a couple videos and you can see the conclusion. And I was right at the end anyway, so I just ran a little bit over. My alarm shut me off. I didn't know it would shut me off. But what's going to happen after the service? What will happen is after the 9:30 service is over at 10:30, we're going to ask you to exit the building as quickly as you possibly can. We don't want to rush you, but have some time to fellowship, but do it as you're on your way out, hanging out in the lobby in the parking lot and preparing for other folks to come in. And so we'd ask you after each service to hustle on out after the 9:30, and then after the 11 o'clock service, we're going to need those folks to help us break down. And so again, as I said earlier, we're going to have all those things that we used to do, just broken down into two phases. And so folks who are at the 11 o'clock are just going to help put stuff up, which is not a lot because the chairs primarily are staying up because Unity is using them during the week. They're not doing lunch in the lunchroom, so we don't have to tear all that down. So setup and breakdown is really a lot more minimal. It'll be really easy, and so it's not going to be a super complicated thing. So that's really it, and wanted you guys to hear all of that this morning. Want you to read it, wanted you to hear it, wanted you to hear some things that I think are very important for us in regard to who we are and what we're doing and where we are going, and that we can settle for just a little bit, and at the same time, as things shift, we can pivot if we need to. But none of that changes the reality that God has promised us that if we ask him, he will multiply our people like the flocks at Jerusalem during our appointed feast, so that we can mobilize them to our city and our world. And there is no fellowship in this town who's done it better. There are things on the horizon coming out of Restoration Rome, Global Impact, your nonprofit, your work around the world, as we continue to mobilize to our city to deal with the foster care crisis, as we work into not just fixing the current problem, but working more in prevention. As even in the news this week, that's your stamp. Those are your people. And that's happening right now. The world is still wide open. There are things I can't say in this video because I don't want to, security-wise, put too much out there, but the world is opening to us. I'll be doing some training in October that is going to allow access to other places in regard to child welfare. The world is opening to us, wide open to us. Our people are still serving and working around the world and looking for those open opportunities. So the world hadn't gone anywhere. You are still here. God is still bringing people to us. We have multiplied and grown in the middle of all this. And there is plenty of work to do, and we're just moving forward into it. So, love you. Thankful for you, Three Rivers Church. Sorry for the two videos and my lack of skill in making sure I didn't have to do two videos. But hey, I'm getting better every day at videoing and video editing. Really not editing, but video and video posting. Hey, y'all have a great Friday. Let's get after it. Hey, that KDSC shirt, we're going to have more of those available. And that's not some just goofy marketing ploy so that you remember KDSC. That's going to be a tool we're going to talk about, not this week, but next week, that if you want access to help you share the gospel, it's going to be available to you. I wear that in public often to spur conversation. I've seen people, they come by, watch me write stuff in my journal. Yeah, people watch that kind of stuff. I like to do that in public, and people watch that kind of stuff, and they will actually ask me if they're sitting beside me, what does that mean? What are you writing? And I'll tell them, well, that K is the entrance to the story of the gospel. And so I share with them the good news of Jesus Christ. And I've had people go, man, that's not for me. And people go, man, that's intriguing. Never heard the story of the gospel that way. And so that has been a tool. And so why not stick it on the front of a shirt? Hey, if you're a gospel magnate and all you do is preach the gospel to everybody everywhere you go, you don't need the t-shirt. But if you're kind of uncomfortable starting a conversation in public and want a tool to help you get into some conversation with somebody about the gospel of the kingdom, grab that shirt and wear it out. Somebody asks you, what does that mean? Just start with the K, and share with them the meta narrative of the gospel. And I guarantee you, it won't do you wrong. But again, you might not need it. Most of you are missionary gospel magnates and don't need any help. But if you need a little help like me, stirring up a little public conversation, grab your shirt, use it as a tool. It's just a tool. It's not the tool, but it's a tool, and it may be helpful to you. Grace and peace to you. Y'all have a great Friday. Out.